Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world of Wayne, and following on from issue 4, we now have issue 5 of Eagle Moss's Build the Back to the Future Delorean. Okay, the next two issues of this are going to be kind of funky because they're exactly the same, and you'll see that when we actually go around and do issue 6. But issue 5, as you can see on this plate here, is all about the suspension by the look of it, and some brakes and discs and stuff like that. But let's have a quick look at the magazine, because we always do that. I'll move that out of the way. Magazine there, showing you all the parts, plenty of screws in this one. Before we were only working on AP screws and the little tiny CPs, but look, we got hundreds here. And springs, we don't want springs. But yeah, basically, all the instructions are said. I'll superimpose these when we get around to doing those bits. 2 pages there. Lee Thompson, I did meet her. Ooh, was it last year? Might have been the year before. Actually, let me put a video picture up so you can see what that looks like. Met Lee Thompson, very nice lady. Here's the rest of the magazine here, and what's coming in the next one, which, look, it's exactly the same but just a mirrored version. So I will still do a video for that, but it's going to be a bit weird because what new stuff can I bring to the table when I do that? But we'll see. So let's get cracking on issue 5. Okay, I do find it easy if I just put everything in a higgledy-piggledy mess here and just count how many actual separate components I've got. And bearing in mind on this one, issue 5, look, we've got this tiny small piece here, and we have got this really tiny screw here. So that's something that you must make sure you don't lose, because if the last issue's anything to go by with those really tiny springs, it's going to be absolute hell on earth, especially if you lose them. I don't know how you get replacement parts for this sort of thing. But let's get cracking. The first thing we're going to be doing is the left front suspension. And that starts with these 2 bits here. So we've got this piece here and this piece here. Again, in the magazine, this piece is grey and this piece is yellow. But as you can see, they're both black. So, and I guess all that happens is this bit's going to slot into here. And it's going to be screwed somehow. Let's have a look. Into this sort of like channel we've got here. So, without further ado, the screws it wants me to use are AM. Now, brilliant for Eagle Moss that they actually label all their bags up. So it is good that if you do get any more of these screws from different issues, either keep them in separate bags or put them in. But unlike the D'Agostini Delorean that we were, D'Agostini Millennium Falcon that we were building, you can actually identify the screws pretty easy. But these screws are going to be going in the side here. Just going to make a start on one side. I'm not going to put it in too tight because I don't want to ground the thread on this. Okay. You would have saw me just fiddling around with that. I was a little bit worried that it says we've got to secure these, but there is a slider for these to go up and down. And the screws will only go in a certain distance. So I'm guessing that hasn't got to be tight. But it doesn't actually tell us that it's got to be tight. So if you have done this, you have to let me know. But I'm not going to tighten these anymore because I'll end up rounding the screws. But I'm guessing they do sit in there quite loosely. Otherwise, I can't see a reason why you'd have such a great big opening there for that. But there we go. That is stage 1 done. The step 2 of the left front suspension. We're going to be using this piece here, which has got these little hole sections on the side. And that's going to be coming through this area here, and it's going to be secured with BM screws on this bit here. Now the screws at BM are going to be going into this little hole here and this little hole here, so let's get those screws put in now. BM, as a matter of fact, let's put that AM screw back in there, don't want to lose that. Okay, so we're going to be using BM screws. 2 of these I need, so well, 3 drop out, that's typical. You know what, I could probably build a proper car after doing this, but let's get this lined up. Whoops, the daisies. There's got to be an easier way to put these things in. Let's put that in first and then line up. Once one's in, the other one will go in quite easily. Okay, we've got a little screw in there and it's fallen out. See, I do this so you people can see the problems I'm having. Because I guarantee you're going to have the same problems. Alright, let's get that screwed in. Now I'm going to... That's that bit in. Let's just get the other side into this. Now there is something I'm going to talk about with these screwdrivers in a second. I'm just going to get this one in. That's that one in, and then I'm going to make sure this one's in correctly. Right, there you go. That's in nice and tight. So we've got this, what is it? Past part, they just call it part 5D, but that's that bit in there. And that's going to have a spring on it. But before I move on, I just want to talk about screwdrivers. Now, this screwdriver here, as you can see, it's got a black tip on it and it's magnetic. This came from D'Agostini with the R2-D2 build, and it's got like a revolvable head. Now, the one that I got with this, as you can see, it hasn't got a black head. It's got like a swivel head here. You still got the swivel here, but you haven't got a... I don't know if it's magnetic. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is magnetic, but it's bigger. And this came with the Delorean. I'm guessing I've got the wrong screw because this doesn't fit any of the screws that we've got in at the moment. I don't know if anyone else has had that problem, but I'm having to use the one for the R2 on this. And I do have another copy of issue 1, but it's got the same screwdriver in it. So I don't know if anyone else had that problem, but I thought I'd put it out there so that you can see. But anyway, so we've done that bit there. We're going to be putting the left front suspension together now, which means that we're going to have the spring, which is this big spring here. It's just going to go over the top of this thing here. So that fits in just like that. Then this is going to go underneath there, sort of in that section there. This is going to be funky. Now I can see why that thing moves around. Okay, so we've got a bit of springing in there. I want to make sure that's in correctly. Okay, as you can see, that's in flush there. Can you see that? Because we're going to be putting a screw in the top here. Okay, now what it wants me to use is lower part 5A onto the top of 5D and over 5E. Hold the parts together and secure with screw EM. There we go, we've got EM. They put 2 screws in here, but by the look of it, we're only using 1. Now, if this is lined up, then obviously this is going to screw in. But as you can see on my one, I don't think it's lined up because it's not screwing in. Let's have another look at that. I'm going to just take that off a second just so I can have a good look. Right. Yeah, I think we're going to have to compress this spring down to get it in. There you go. And that way you can be assured that it's going to fit. And if you push it, it will bring the spring to the top so you can actually see that hole and then put it in. Okay, so if you've been having problems with that, compress the spring, and then as you're going to be screwing this, you're going to be pushing it down. I'm pushing it down quite hard actually with my left hand, and then that should go in fine. Let's have a look. It's in. I'm just gonna check that out with the my other tiny screwdriver I've got. If anything needs a real tight screw, then I do use another one that I've got here, just to make sure that that is in perfectly. But there we go, completely in. And we've got some suspension, but to be honest with you, this suspension is so hard. You really have to be sitting on the car for that to make any difference. But that's that bit in. The next bit we're going to be doing is putting this bit over the top. Now, I'm just seeing if this is directional. This looks like it goes, as you can see, there's a bevel on the inside of this bit. That's going to be facing down. So when we put this bit over the top here, make sure that the bevel side is facing towards the floor of that. And these are going to be secured in with CM screws. Let's put the BM one back. This part, if you are following along in the book, is part 5 that we're doing at the moment. The screws we're fixing this in are with CM screws, which are these ones here. And I'm going to need 2 of them. So let's get these out the bag. One. Oh god, they're going everywhere. Two. So we'll put one of these in first. Now these CM screws are longer than the other ones, so that's why I'm so glad that these are labelled up. Matter of fact, I'm not happy with that. Let me have a quick look at that for a second. Okay, if you notice, I had a pause there and I've cut away because I've got a problem. Basically, we're supposed to be attaching this next part, which is this bit here. Okay, and as you can see in the picture here, we're supposed to be attaching it with screws CM. So this is the bag CM. And if I go back to the thing here, look, the screws I've been given are really tiny. They don't go all the way through, and that just threw me completely. So I opened the next issue up, and look, the CM screws are completely different to the ones in there. Which means they sent me the wrong screws. Little pain. I haven't even got enough spares for this one, and none of the other screws look like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together with the ones that we've got from the next issue, and I'm going to be one short, I guess, until that comes through, and I'll have to contact them. So bad form, Eagle Moss, not good, but I will continue with this build with these CM screws. So this bit, as it says in step 5, will be going on here with the bevel down, like I said, and we're going to be putting CM screws through here and attaching it. The CN screws being long enough to fit through it. Again, please let me know if you've been sent wrong screws, because that would really hold you up. I'm sure you guys must have noticed that when I was just trying to get this thing in, because I thought to myself, you know what, these screws definitely don't go all the way through, which doesn't make sense. I'm not tightening it up, I'm just putting a couple in. Now, as I said, I really do hope they are like D'Agostini and they'll send through some spares. But let's get this in. Okay, there's one in. Get the other one in. Okay, that's two in. Oh, that give it a bit tight, more of a tighten. Yep, perfect. And that's what that looks like when it's in. Okay, put that in the light a bit more actually, you'll be able to see a bit better. Okay, the next stage we're going to be doing step 6, which is basically we're going to be putting this piece here into this piece. I'm guessing it's going to be quite fiddly because it hasn't got a flat base, so I'm going to put the screw in first, and we're going to get the bottom piece in first. It goes in directional, it actually goes in this way round with a hole at the bottom, so I'm going to get this, because this lifts up as you can see, I'm going to mount the bottom and then we'll put the top in afterwards. So unfortunately gravity is not on my side for this, so I can see this is going to be quite fiddly, but I'm going to try and do it this way round. So bear with me if I go quiet while I screw this in, because this isn't going to be easy. Not happy with that. See, you have got a danger of cross-threading the screws here, which you really don't want to do. So once again, I'm going to offer this up to that as straight as I can possibly get it, and then we'll go again. I'll tell you now, this ain't easy. I've got the bottom one kind of sort of in. I've got it in enough that I'll be able to put the top piece in now, and then I'll rework the bottom one again afterwards. I just want to get this started so it's fixed into place. As you can see, look, this moves around so much. It is a fiddly piece to put in. But let's try again. Use my other screwdriver on this because I'm not happy with how these are going in. Okay, we've got one in. Let's get the bottom one in. There you go. That's in. And it does turn. So I'm guessing it's meant to do that. I don't know what mounts to this, but we'll find out soon. But yeah, pretty cool. Let's see what's next. Those screws can only go in so far anyway. I'm just looking at this at the top here. It's not like they've got a hole, so that is meant to turn, I believe. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do is we put in the... where are we? This little tiny thing here. We're up to the left front brake now. We're going to be putting this on the little tiny spring that we had. And then we're going to be... this goes to one side for the minute. And then we're going to be putting it on the brake. Now, where does it go on the brake? The brake is this way round. And it goes on the inside. And I'm being very careful because I don't want this to ping off. And we're going to be using a DP screw, which is a different bag. It's this one here. Am I going to be able to open it? I'm not going to be able to open it. So let's be gentle because I don't want that flying off into oblivion. Okay, so let's get that on there. Right, put that back where it goes again. So we have the screw, the spring fitting over the top of that piece. There's a lot of fiddly bits in this, I have to say. This goes in the larger of the holes. Actually, let me just double check that. Yeah, it's the larger of the holes, the top one here. And then this screw goes in the other side here. So you got a little bit of braking power there by the look of it, but that's that bit in. So it doesn't actually show you, if you look to that picture there of the left front brake, this extra hole here, it definitely goes in this one, because I'm looking at the picture. But it sort of like doesn't tell you about this one underneath, so don't put it in the wrong one. Okay, put it in the top one. But that's the brake part done of the left front brake. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be offering this section here now, which is like the brake caliper, to this section here. Now, how does this fit in? There's 3 screws, 2 holes, so should I say. So it can only go in one way, just like that. And it's secured with 1 screw on this side. And the screw that it's secured with is the old faithful AP. So let's put these DP ones back. Get the AP ones out. It's only 1 AP screw. There we go. I'll load this onto the rod here and we'll get this put back in. So again, it fits over the top there. And we put it in. Now this is part 3A. I'll put it in a bit, but it's come out a little bit. There we go. Okay, and that's the caliper on. And that's how the part should look, as you can see in this picture from 3B, which it does, and it looks very beautiful. It looks just like that. Okay, now we're going to offer this to this section here. And basically, how does this go? So we're going to combine the parts. So it says hold the left front brake and suspension assemblies together and secure them with a DM screw. So we've got a part here and we've got the caliper part here. So how this goes, basically, it's going to be going this way round, and this part here is going to be attaching to this part just here, just like that. And as I said, it's going to be used a DM screw, which I've still got one left out for this. The DM screws are very, very, very they're very what's the word I'm looking at, tight to put in. Now the advantage you've got is this unit here is magnetic, so look, I don't have to hold it and it's not falling off. Yay! So we get this screwed in with 1 DM screw. Oh, now it's moving around everywhere. Now if I've learned anything from this build at the moment is make sure the screws, when you put them in, go in absolutely straight. Otherwise, you are going to round some heads off. But that is in absolutely perfect there, as you can see. And that is the wheel on. I'm guessing... don't over tighten the screw because the brake assembly will need to move as shown. Right, okay, yeah, that's cool. I'm just seeing how... Oh yeah, so don't over tighten it because that needs to move down like that. So, there you go. That makes sure you don't put that screw too tight. And that's pretty much it. That's the completed left front suspension and brake. What I'm going to do... I'm not happy with the screws at the top here. I don't think they're tight enough. And I don't want to make them too tight, but at the same time I don't want to make them too loose, so I am just giving these a little tighten. I'm sure they are meant to be loose like that, but I don't know, it doesn't actually tell you. But that's pretty much that done. Now the next issue we're going to be doing exactly the same thing, but like in mirror review and stuff like that. But that's what the suspension piece is done. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. I mean, the screws can only go in a certain way on that. That just feels a bit loose to me. If it does need tightening up, let me know. I'm not going to tighten it up for the simple reason I don't want to round screw heads, and I don't want to do threaded screws and stuff like that. But I know that that bit's got to stay loose so we can access things and stuff like that. But that is issue 4 done. The only other problem I have with this issue is these CM screws are the wrong ones. Eagle Moss, please get it better next time. Let's see if we have any more luck in issue 5, which will be the next video. Take care, everybody.